Braincake is a delicious, sweet nourishment created by combining two or more grains.
Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first part of our Halloween special here about the two infamous creepy clowns, Insane Clown Posse.
And if you look at Kiwi's background, Violent J is not a good Frankenstein at all.
He's the Frankenstein outfit is not flattering for Violent J, especially because you're used to seeing his face be bright white like Shaggy's is over here, and instead it's just this like spray tan Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's weird. I never cared for the fleshy tone paints.
It's the Donald Trump Frankenstein, dude. Donald Trump missed
Happy Halloween, sure,
to please America by not wearing a Frankenstein costume on Halloween, because he could do that perfectly.
I don't like the phrasing of Donald Trump pleasing America.
The orange Frankenstein, though.
I'm gonna please America.
Well, so for this special episode here, we already have watched the Dark Carnival Chronicles, and that was a nightmare.
It was different.
But thankfully, we've moved on to a contest, well, not a contest, a ranking of our favorite or most horribly good ICP songs. We have a top 10 list, and then we're going to also go over their most horribly bad.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
On the top 10 side, I would say like it's more horror, just like what are the more creepy songs in their catalog. The since it is the season, this is Halloween after all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say the bad songs. They don't have to be themed in that vein. They're just bad songs. So
yeah. It's like it's crazy how ICP can simultaneously write some of the most horrifying music, like genuinely like spine tingling, like make your skin crawl horror, and then back to back hit you with
fucking pelican swallowed my cell phone. He ran away.
yeah. Like, so that's the theme today: is horrifyingly good, horrifyingly bad. Either way, ICP is the king of horror and should be celebrated every October, just as we're giving them here.
Damn, man, you're trying to promote them to be a very thematic band, like.
Well, I think they are.
I mean, I get it. No, I totally understand what you're saying. It's just I never really thought about it like that before. Like, yeah, you could easily associate them with that time of year because, I mean, well, shit, they do release a single every single year that's Halloween based, and they have for over 20 years.
And they have their Hallowicked stuff. They always have like themed concerts in October, which is really, really fun. I mean, what other concert can you go to where they throw scarecrows into the crowd for people to rip up?
Yeah. Throwing scarecrows, throwing toilet paper, confetti, soda, obviously.
Yeah. Lots of Faygo soda. You know, if that's your thing, not that that's everybody's thing to rip up scarecrows and get covered in cheap cola, but it's our thing, you know. So
yeah, I mean, everybody has their different outlets. Some people like to cut themselves. Some people like to get hit in the fucking nose with a 2-liter bottle.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever makes you sleep at night.
Yeah. Well, you sleep very well after
but I will say,
getting concussed by a Diet Cola like I did.
God, that reminds me of a time I was partying with my cousin, baby, him and another fella. And you say go to sleep after a concussion. Well, I had, let's just say I indulged a bit too much of a variety of things I shouldn't have been indulging in. But,
yeah,
you know, it's whatever. Everybody has those phases. So I'm sitting on the back of an ATV just like about to pass out, you know, right? And I just like go, poof. I fall off the back of the ATV, land on my fucking skull. I've busted blood vessels in my eyeball, a gash above my eyebrow, blood streaming down the left side of my face. And man, hey, look at this. Look at this. And they show me a picture on their cell phone of me going, this is you. This is what you look like right now. And I've all the blood and shit. I go,
oh my God.
Wow, that's cool, man. And they said, no, it's not fucking cool. They said, let's get you inside. So they've got me over each of their shoulders. I'm in the middle of this fucking shit sandwich of human beings.
Yeah.
Dragging me into my home.
It's
and
like
they just put me in bed.
Gurney.
They gave me a glass of milk and said, just sleep. Just sleep it off.
Dude,
just sleep it off.
Sleep your
off fucking gay.
Just
concussion's fine.
Just get your brain as like we already brought the damage to near death, so let's go ahead and let your consciousness drift into near death as well. And that sounds like a great idea, a great.
You
combo.
can dream about it.
Yeah, and you might find a wormhole.
Yeah, have some
where you meet your dream girl, and like in the Chronicles.
Turns out it's just an angel of death.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just turned out to be the angel of death after all. You were chasing this angel of death to kiss her ever so gently on the lips so she could send you into the void forever.
Wasn't that guy who was taking care of you during that brutal brain damage falling off the fucking ATV, wasn't he a fan of ICP as well?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, so.
As a matter of fact. So there you go.
Well, Juggalos
they
have
take
good
care
intentions.
of their own, I guess.
Yeah,
they take care of their own, and I mean their heart's in the right place.
Yeah. He just wanted you to have a nice rest. Could have been eternal. Thankfully, it wasn't.
Yeah, but if you're seeing the title of this, most likely you have already not even clicked it, or you're just not even going to listen to it. So if you clicked it knowing what this was already, then have at it. But if you're clicking this out of curiosity, then allow us to maybe mold an opinion a little bit, or just shape your curiosity into actually looking into it, and not just going with the easy way out and saying, "Oh yeah, they're shitty. I've never heard them, but they're shitty." It's what everybody says. I mean, like, I understand it's not for everybody. You have to go to it with an open mind. But if you don't like rap, you wouldn't like that stuff anyway.
Well, the way that I see it is like you can consume horror in a variety of different ways.
There you go. That's actually the best way to put it.
Through a bunch of different artistic mediums, whether you like horror movies, whether you like horror video games like Resident Evil or something. Some people like horror music, and all of those horror themes are there, and ICP are really good storytellers as well. So like they're basically creating all these stories, these like horror tales in 4-minute songs, you know.
Tales for the crypt for outcasts.
Yeah. And some of them are more like mythical than others, like about ghosts or the boogeyman or whatever. But then there are others that are real human horrors, like
ranging anywhere from the paranormal to the like street violence to fucking anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, their very first album was conceptualized as an idea of this ghetto, pretty much. Violence in the smaller inner cities and shit was created by the rich, pretty much. And it eventually sprawls out of the inner cities and into other places. And it's basically just this wave of destruction that the rich had created, and hope that these people would rid themselves. But instead, now, as they put in one of the last lines in the last song on the Carnival of Carnage, it's like, now we're killing you instead of killing each other. So,
I mean, it's like that is the beginning, and it showed a lot of their hip hop influences. Like, what are some of their influences? You probably know better than me.
If you're looking at rap, it's like Ghetto Boys, Esham, stuff of that nature. But if you're just looking around all across the boards, I mean, Michael Jackson was a big inspiration. So yeah, it's pick and choose. It's there was a rapper in Detroit, I can't remember his name at the time. Like he was, he might have been like mentally challenged or something like that. And they were big fans of his. I know they were big fans of NWA and stuff too. Eazy-E.
I was just watching one of their Halloween pieces of content that they've been putting out lately. It was like a podcast, I think, and they were talking about the oldest items they had, and Violent J said he had a piece of paper that he wrote Inner City Posse on, and he wrote something from NWA, like a lyric from NWA on there as well. And that was like, he said he wrote that in like 8th grade. So like, they've been doing this shit their whole lives, man.
I mean, I was going to say, like you can even go back before Inner City Posse when it was JJ Boys. And that's literally like, there was one song that they ever really made. It was called Party at the Top of the Hill or something like that. And it's fucking hard to find.
Yeah. I mean, they're outcasts, man. They really are. I think finally people are starting to give them a little bit of the respect that they deserve, but I think
they've slowly been accepted into the mainstream conscience over time.
Yeah, like they've started appearing on more like mainstream radio shows and getting interviewed by people, and I mean shit, they have TV shows like that one on Fuse we talked about, ICP Theater. So I mean, but I still feel like people, unlike us, who haven't spent so many years diving into their like huge catalog, like they still probably don't have all of the great findings that we have found, and like all these songs that have grown on us and stuff. So hopefully we can share those and have some people enjoy some cool shit that we've enjoyed for a while.
Yeah, and I will say on one more side note before we start, even if that's not really someone's cup of tea in rap, they are, I think, a pretty good source of rap knowledge, and because they oddly have a very specific and long-lasting knowledge of rap history. You know what I mean? Like, you can hear it in their interviews, like they're very well knowledgeable of the genre itself. Nardwuar done a really good interview with them that kind of shows that. Yeah,
I mean, they're not like, they have not went without paying their dues to hip hop. Like, it's not like they try to pretend that's not what they are. Like, they actually embrace that, and that's pretty cool too. Of course, there are some times where they put out things that no one in the rap community would ever want to accept, and I would completely understand.
They're polarizing for a reason in that aspect. Like I said, they're not even considered rap by a lot of rap artists. Even
though they have that like big hip hop influence and they pay homage to it and stuff, they're still something all to themselves. Like they transcend genre.
It's a uniqueness. It's kind of like Death Grips. You know, Death Grips has Death Grips has a uniqueness to them that, you know, anybody else that ever tries to sound like it, they don't sound like anything else but a copycat.
We've seen some bad ICP copycats too, like real bad.
That's more horrifying than the bad songs on this list.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, the worst thing about it can only get worse than a bad ICP song than a like Dollar General knockoff version of a bad ICP song.
God.
Like we like sometimes before shows, you know, like they'll have these local acts, I guess, who still fit into like the ICP type of music.
They never left 1999.
Yeah, and they have all of these corny lyrics, and man, I understand being influenced by an artist, but I don't know though, man. It's like ICP
they completely like yoink that style.
But ICP has also created like a bubble of like hatchet swinging clown murderers. You know? Like
Literally, in some cases.
Anybody who wants to paint their face and talk about juggalos and murdering people with hatchets, you know, you're part of the squad. You're part of the ICP will accept it, I guess. So whatever.
That's right.
It says something about the family aspect.
At least 30
so terrible could still be accepted.
At least 30 of your fellow clown friends will accept your music and praise it and say you're the shit.
Yes.
But everybody else will live in reality and be like, bruh, come on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
All right.
But,
yeah.
So would you like to dive into this list and begin?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you out there, if you would like to maybe look some of these up for yourself to have you some spoopy times this Halloween season, you're more than welcome to. And if religion scares you like it fucking wigs me out, then listen to Hallelujah. That is my number 10. Oddly. I mean, like, I had to think about it, but no, televangelism and shit is so bizarre, which is what the song is about.
Yeah.
It's just about conning people for their fucking money. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a lyric from that song that sums it up pretty good. Let's see.
I mean, to me, one of the craziest things about it is the chorus and the aggression that, like, Shaggy has with, like, this energetic, like, praise of, you know, the Almighty of, like, the preacher man said, hallelujah.
Oh, yes.
It's, like, such aggressive, like, dark energy.
Wait, that's not even from that song.
It's not? What is that?
No.
What is that from? Something on Hell's Pit?
Yeah, that's just a unique loop on Real Underground, baby. That's specific to that song. It never came from another song.
Yes. Okay, so can you remember any of the lyrics from Hallelujah? Hallelujah.
Let's see. Close your eyelids and intervene. Put your lips up to the screen. Oh my God, no, I got that backwards. It said, put your lips up to the screen, close your eyelids, and something. Your lips to mine, now send the cash, and while you're there, you can kiss my ass.
Okay.
Let's see. God has sent me to take your half or something like that. Like pretty much, and every set between all the bars and shit is a skit of a guy trying to heal this crippled individual, and every time the amount of money they need escalates, and they just keep being so, you know. And if you I don't like it. Buy yourself a set of keys to heaven.
Yeah, and that's like another awesome layer about ICP storytelling is sometimes it is just dark and evil for the sake of being dark and evil, but sometimes they're like
there's some meaning behind some of it.
They're making a point, like trying to expose the ridiculousness and how evil it really is of like these televangelists who I mean, there have been televangelists who have been caught for planting people in their audience and, you know, saying like you have
like
this,
fake healings and shit.
Yeah. And that is evil. I mean, that's if you're a Christian and you are doing that, like to these people like that are crowding with you and, you know, seeing you as the voice of God speaking through you, and you're going to take advantage of them in that way. I mean, that's evil, man. That's and ICP has the right
really
level of aggression when talking about those subjects.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's that's my number 10 right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. So my number 10, let's see here, pulling up my list. I'm gonna start. I started out with something lighthearted.
Lighthearted.
Yeah, it's still dark, but definitely the most lighthearted on my list. It's I Found a Body.
Aw, the body. Cute.
Yeah, dude.
Cute.
Like, there's this one of the things that get me, like, it's the imagery that the song evokes that creeps me out so much.
Mhm.
Like,
The beat is the beat is ominous. Like it's really looming. You know what I mean?
very slow paced. Like, you have enough time to take in every lyric. And he says, so basically this guy's walking along in an alley and he trips over a dead body. And this is what he says. He says, he looked like a crackhead, maybe 25. He looked rather lonely. Both his eyes were open. Threw him on my shoulder, took him to the homestead, sat him on my couch, cooked him pizza rolls, opened up his mouth, stuffed him down his throat. So he's just talking about...
He's
like,
feeding a dead man.
he brought a dead body from an alleyway home, cooked it pizza rolls, and is stuffing them in its mouth. Do you know how disturbing that is?
He also sprayed him with Axe body spray.
Yeah, he does do that, don't he?
Yeah.
And like throughout the song, he kind of starts to lose it a little bit and like says that the
As if
body
he
hit
had
him.
lost it before by getting the dead body. Taking it home.
ICP set the bar high, and then they still exceeded it from there.
Bunch of monsters.
Oh, God. And the ending line, it says, I took him to my mom's house. She called him a user. Because he had my shoes on, she thinks he's a loser. He don't have a job yet. Got nothing on rent. Pretty much everything about him is spent. I got into a fist fight. 2 thugs jumped me. He stayed in the car, chilling in the front seat. Come to think about it, he ain't really my friend. But whatever we got, I don't want it to end.
God.
Yeah. So, like, even though he feels like that fucking dead body should have his back, he let motherfuckers beat him up. Yeah, but
He didn't even try to jump in there.
But he still can't leave him alone, and he's probably gonna pack that dead body around until it's nice and corpsey.
Oh yeah, until it's got vultures swarming around it. Which that's my number 9, by the way.
Ah, that's a great one, man. I didn't include that on my list, but I was kind of hoping you would.
Vultures, if I had to find one word to explain it, which in a way I look at my list and I at least have one word that would sum up that song in its entirety, and they're all different. Like I would just say morbid is the best way to word that song. It's literally just about people in their most vulture-like state in terms of someone is dying and everybody's just waiting for it. They're waiting for it so they can get their fucking whatever's in their will. They're just waiting. They want to pull the plug. They want it. They just, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's cold. How fucking cold are people? Like, your parents. Some people are like that with their parents. Shit. Your parent be laying there on their deathbed. You're debating on pulling the plug. Then you got 2 or 3 other people sitting over there whispering to each other. Let's see. What are they saying to each other in this song by chance?
Yeah, the part where
the whole song comes to a screeching halt, and all you hear is like I don't know, whatever it is that people flatline on and shit. Well, you just hear that steady beep and just hear a conversation between 4 different people, basically wondering when this person's going to die. It's, go away, Doc. Leave him alone. When will he die? I'll be at home. Who gets his car? Who gets his crib? Those are his pills. I'm popping the lid. Put me in his will. What do I get? I give him a week. He's moving again. Sign it like him. Cut off that beep. There goes his morphine. That shit is sweet. Give me a hit. The preacher called. He's trying to get paid. Who's feeding his dog? Fuck that dog. It's beeping again. Oh, that morphine's kicking in. What about his money? He wants the church to have it. How long till he dies? Let's check his wallet. Let's pull the plug. Do you think he can hear? He's fucking dying. He doesn't care.
God.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then it follows up immediately with serpents and snakes, they rattle and bite. Whatever it takes, they get what they like. Oh, yeah. God, it's just cold, man.
Yeah,
God damn.
And it just, like it has all of those people talking. I remember the tone the guy has too when he's like, he's moving again. Like, it's like so annoyed that this person's not dead yet.
Yeah, and then they're sitting there trying to figure out how long it's going to be before he dies. Like, I'll give him a week. I mean, like, what am I going to get? What am I going to get when he dies?
And then ICP describing those type of people in like the most poetic way with, like you said, that part that it goes into the serpents and snakes. Sorry, they're talks about
And
their
make
heart.
no mistake. Yeah, and make no mistake, they do got a heart. It's blacker than coal and hard as a rock.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, so my number 9 is it made it. It's at the bottom of the list because I haven't familiarized myself with it, but it's off of Hell's Cellar, which is what, an album of.
It's songs that were left off of Hell's Pit.
Yeah,
it's a collection of like 7 or 8 songs that was left off the album Hell's Pit from 04 or 05, whenever it came out.
And as you'll know throughout this list, Hell's Pit is probably what me and you would both consider like their darkest album overall.
Easily.
Hell's Cellar is actually just as dark.
If not darker. I mean, like, as short as it is, it's all, like, it's pretty fucking evil.
Yeah. The Can't End Myself is what I put on there.
That was originally on my list, and I knocked it off of it.
The reason it's on mine is the concept. And also Violent J's fucking manic, crazy style that he uses on that song.
It's very frantically paced.
Yeah, basically it's just a journey of this guy who wants to die but can't. It's like
it's his hellish punishment on earth is eternal life, is the way the song puts it.
Yeah, it's like his ultimate, his personal hell is to be alive, and that's why when he went to hell, his punishment was to be alive on earth for eternity. So that in itself is dark. But
and the very first thing he does in the song is he shoots his wife in the head.
Yeah. And then it said, oh my God, dude, that one line is so dark. Yeah, he shoots himself in the head after shooting his wife, and he says that he can feel the flames.
Let's see, he felt his world shake, he felt his thoughts catch on fire.
That's so disturbing to me, of like shooting yourself, immediately going to hell, and that description of that experience being that your thoughts catch on fire.
Oh my God.
That's eerie to me.
You're really, lyricism wise, like, I could argue that song on anybody's list. The only reason I left it off there is because when I think about it, like, eternal life on earth, I mean, like, that sounds awful. Actually, yeah, you know what? Fuck that.
For somebody who really wants to die, I mean, that's what makes the concept so dark to me. Like, I mean, not to get too personal here, but to think of the most depressed state
you could possibly be in.
Yeah, and, you know, not being able to end it, but instead just living, even though your head's blown off and you're a walking zombie that people are bumping into. And by the end of the song, he says, he's all beaten and busted from getting hit by a semi and all these other things that happen. And
he throws himself into a wood chipper.
Yeah.
And I found myself a wood chipper. I thought this was it. I crawled in and climbed into that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, and it spits him out, but he can feel himself be like, it says, it spits him out piece by piece, and he can feel every piece of him being eaten by maggots.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, like, he don't understand how he's even feeling it, but he's feeling his pieces getting eaten by maggots. So, like, and that's always been my thought, is like, you know, sometimes I wonder, like, about how you feel after you die, if you are just this, like, you know, if you're just, like, encased in your human shell, like, consciously. I'm like, I almost feel like I could survive anything sometimes, because I'm like, if my body's intact, as long as I fight hard enough, I can live through it. But I've always been like, unless I get in a car crash or something, literally when your body is completely destroyed, that's the only...
And you're left to be in the forever box.
Yeah. but still somehow to be feeling even after that, yeah, is a really disturbing concept to me.
Let's see. Number 8 on my list is The Tower. And The Tower, it's a pretty brief concept. Honestly, kind of based a lot in reality in a way. Because I think it's very much just based off the shootings of Charles Whitman, who was the sniper from a clock tower over top. I guess it was a college, maybe, that he had climbed up to, one of those types of towers. But in the song, it's just a man. He's just up in this tower, and he's just firing nonstop. He don't care who he's shooting. He's just going and going and going until the cops eventually climb the tower and take him out. But that's what he wanted. He was just ready to go. Let's see. What is it? My only skill is skill is murder, and I'm stuck on automatic.
Yep, that's the line that sticks with me too. To get into the heads, like for the headspace they have to get into to write these songs about these dark characters. Like, it's like he really got into the head of
Charles Whitman, man.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I keep taking it, or really any type of shooter.
Yeah.
But I stand by The Tower. It's off the album The Tempest. The Tempest is very underrated.
And it's got a music video for that one, actually. The Tower is probably one of the few songs on this list from either of us that has a music video attached.
It's very gritty. Actually, you know what? Whenever, not that it matters to the audio listeners, but when you do go back and edit that one video, maybe you should use that video instead. We didn't use that one, The Tower.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. For some reason, we can use any music video from ICP and they can get the monetization from it, except for Tilt-A-Whirl. That's the only one where they're like, if you use that, you can't use it at all.
You can't have any more If I Die at Fago either.
So we got to edit that and re-upload it, but whatever. Let's see. We're on number 8. Okay, I got, for my number 8, I got In My Room. That's one of my personal favorites. If it were my personal favorite list, that would be higher. But I still think it's maybe more of a sad song than it is dark.
It's very depressing.
But
it is dark. Don't undersell it. It's dark as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, the story goes that there's this ghost that keeps appearing to this guy, this ghost of this girl. And he like keeps wanting to please her, would you say?
He's trying to bring her back to life.
Yeah. And she apparently tells him, or he assumes that like she wants him to murder his neighbors for her. And
if
apparently,
I do, she may come to life. Now I'm in their yard with a shotgun at night.
Yeah, and he fucking talks about blowing the dad's head into a bowl of
spaghetti.
Yeah, blow a bowl of spaghetti in the side of his head.
Let's see. And the daddy was next, running down the hall. I shredded his throat, and he was quick to fall. Tossed the Mossberg and gripped the knife, started stabbing the shit out of his wife.
God, Jesus, and he's doing this for a ghost chick that he's trying to bring back to life.
Oh, it was the kid he shot in the head. He said, I found the kid, blew a bowl of spaghetti in the side of his head.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God, dude.
And she never comes back after that, by the way. That's how the song ends.
Yeah.
He waited 2 or 3 days, 4 days, and it turns into months. And it looks forever.
That's like 2 minutes of the song. The whole end of the song is just him saying, like, waited 2 or 3 days, 4 days, waited for the tap, tap like always. I waited. And it's just like this desperation. And he just starts yelling about, like, where is she?
Yeah.
And, like,
fuck my life.
Yeah. Which is so dark. And he doesn't he say, like, I killed them?
Yeah. Yeah, they're never coming back.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's like the shit you do for ghost love, man.
Which that's a very recurring theme in their music is a lot of paranormal romance. It's strange.
Yeah.
I guess
Lots of very sad woman characters, like damsel in distress types.
I think it's just childhood type of stuff in their heads that's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'll be your hero, shit like that. I don't know. If you're trying to get paranormal, there's a way to get there, and it's by killing yourself, obviously. The Suicide Hotline is my number 7.
Oh, wow. I did not think you would include Suicide Hotline. I thought it would be too popular, I guess, for you to take note of.
Oh, no. Suicide Hotline it's horrendous.
Yeah.
From start to finish. I mean, the tone of it is so serious from the start. Like, the skit isn't even trying to be funny at all. You know what I mean? Like, the opening skit's like, well, I think I'm going to fucking kill myself. And he's over there. He's like on the other end. It's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And he's like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's just, there's no playing in it at all. But the song, the only thing about it, it's low on the list because the song ends on a funny skit.
Yeah.
That takes away from it. It's like it completely alleviates it. But he kills himself in this. No, actually, he doesn't kill himself, does he? Right at the end, he's like, I'm about to do it. And then his phone rings, and then that stops it.
And it's like, this is like a girl, and she's like, hey, me and Christina, we're going to come over and like have fun, or I don't know what the fuck.
Bring some blondes over, baby.
Yeah, he's like, all right, bring some blunts.
The thing about this song, and the main reason I put it on here is because it's horribly relatable.
Yeah.
It's beyond relatable. Especially, I mean, like most people have been to that point in their life. I'm sure at least once. And you hear a line like, I'm the motherfucking big red train that couldn't. That's a whole other level of like, man, you can't. I'm the motherfucking big red train that couldn't.
Yeah.
God damn, I don't have any hope.
And there are a lot of songs, especially on Hell's Pit, that Violent J really sounds like he's going through some terribly depressing stuff, man.
Oh, yeah, they both. I had like a bunch of songs, like honorable mentions, and pretty much all of them are off Hell's Pit except for like 2 songs. But I only have one off this album on this list, and that's it.
And also the stuff that Violent J and Shaggy have to say on those albums and how dark the tone is emotionally, combined with Mikey Clark's production, man. I mean, the instrumental on every single one of those, Suicide Hotline included, it's
really hard to walk away from that album feeling positive.
Yeah. And
BPK's all of them.
Actually, that goes perfectly into my number 7, Walk Into the Darkness. And I chose that because I feel like that sets the whole tone for Hell's Pit as an album. The instrumental is so good. Like, oh my God.
I'm over here hearing it in my head right now.
Let's get dark and hard. It's so atmospheric. Like it I don't even pay attention to the lyrics so much as I do just the tone of it all. And he also, like, he talks about the wraith in the song.
You turn your world upside down and make it rain hell.
Yeah, talking about, and when the wraith takes you, his grip is hard as a nail. He'll turn your world upside down and make it rain hell, and then it repeats that all the way until the end.
And then it leads into Suicide Hotline.
Yep. And God, yeah, man, Jesus. Yeah, if you take anything away from this, dude, if you want to hear a dark album that'll get your...
If you need to get your horror movie jollies off.
Yeah, venture into that. And if you got some mental health problems, I don't know, I guess it could be either good or bad, depending on how you take them.
It might be very triggering.
Yeah.
You know. Oh God. Number 6. This is a new one. This is it's a much more recent song. Friend request. If to explain this one real briefly, friend request is about pretty much what it sounds like. It's just you don't know people. Accepting friend requests, follows, all this shit on social media from these people, you have no idea who the hell they are. Yep. You know, and you meet them. It's kind of like To Catch a Predator, like that Chris Hansen song. It's kind of like meshing that. It's like a more updated version of that, I would say, except it's not involving kids per se. It's the shit we deal with every day.
Yeah. It's like another moral tale.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in that song? Because I'm not really too familiar with it.
It's basically just two different people that are telling their sides of they're trying to get you to add them and be their friend, but they're fucking lunatics and they're just trying to get you is all they're doing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm Shaggy the Clown and let's see. I'm Shaggy the Clown something. God damn it. That ain't coming to me right away. It's a hard, like, since it's newer on this list, it's not exactly all that fresh in my head.
Yeah. Let me look up the lyrics really quick.
Like, the concept absolutely is what sells it for me, though.
Yeah. Because I can remember some of the words from it that I thought were interesting, like about all the things that you don't have to put on the internet, you know. Like
I'm a bit of a thriller, a play pretender. I'm supposed to say that I'm a sex offender. Shit like that's what I'm saying.
Yes, that was exactly the line I was thinking of.
And then he just like chuckles after that, and it's like right back to normal. It's like,
yeah, hell, dude. Ugh. Yeah, think about this. Yeah, you move into a neighborhood. If you're a sex offender, you have to go tell everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't even got to do that on a Facebook page. You don't even got to do that on, any type of message board. You don't got to put that in your bio. So, yeah, I mean, they make a good point. Like, you genuinely, it's crazy. You don't know who's behind that friend request.
No, not at all. And if you're like not that apprehensive towards meeting people, you could just as easily be under their floorboards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know. You just don't know about people. Especially, I mean, it's always been like that. But as time progresses, it just seems like God, people are dumb, dumber and dumber.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not something we've been dealing with for long. I mean, shit, internet's just been around 30 years max.
As long as people are around, they will figure out a way to abuse something.
Yeah, and like we're not even used to being able to talk to each other from a distance as humans, let alone understand the what all the things that could be hidden by an online persona.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my what's up next on the list for me is a switch up, not a moral tale, but more of just a tale of evil, as Hell's Pit does best, and that is The Witch.
The Witch, that was also in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, man, they create this image of a witch that is so not stereotypical, but it's so perfect.
But the witch in their lore, I think, is it's a metaphor for Satan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that might alter your view on that song a little bit.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, like, the witch jumped on my back last night. I couldn't breathe in its clutch. I was frozen with fright, is the first lines of the song. And then basically it's just the witch telling this person to do all this fucked up stuff.
a lot of self-harm and a lot of damage to other people. Like the line that sticks out to me that I always will remember from that song is the witch told me to put my feet in the fire and hold on until everything below the knee's gone. Now I'm in a wheelchair with only an arm, but don't care. I can still throw my hatchet in the air.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, and the chorus, something is standing in between me and my sanity. They say my witch is just a dream, morbid fantasy.
God, yeah. God, the witch it truly is it's a gem on Hell's Pit. Absolutely.
It's dark, man. It's
very dark. Me and Shaggy, let's see, we're rolling through the ghetto. Shaggy's riding a shotgun and the witch is in the middle.
Yeah. God.
Let's see. I'll have to jet here in probably like the next 30 or 40 minutes, so I'm going to try and speed up on my end.
All right.
My number 5 is also it's Hellseller. It's Spontaneous Combust. And the one word I would use to describe this song is anxiety. You talk about a beat, a pace, a tone that just sets nothing but bad nerves, anxiety. Like you can almost get panicked listening to that beat.
It's barely it's like they're rapping not to the beat, but just to the rhythm of insanity. Just the rhythm of anxiety.
There's a part in one of the choruses that sticks with me. Is like you just hear this little voice of a girl saying, "Who's daddy talking to?" And then he just chimes back in as, "Oh, the paranoia," or something like that. You know?
Oh, the paranoia. Yeah.
Life is a walk in the park. I seen my shadow get killed by another, ripped out its heart. There's no place I'd rather be. Take me off this earth. The whole world's destroying me. And basically the song really is just about blowing up, literally spontaneous combustion. I walked in, grabbed a pop, took off my jeans and stretched out. Then it hit me. This ain't my house. But I was so tired, so wired, so expired.
Like, what are they even? It's hard to do the lyrics justice. Like the delivery.
Yeah, you really can't.
Is what makes it. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kiwi, we're using Zoom to record this, and it just very much startled me that I know he got up, but he just literally just vanished out of my sight. And I don't have an explanation. I see a shadow over a microphone, but I can't see. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's a poltergeist.
I'm the next ICP song, man. Okay, so my number 5, we made it into the top 5, is news at 6 o'clock.
News at 6 o'clock.
And I'm assuming that might be later on in your list. But it's another case of a song where they detail dark things in reality all too well.
And in 2020, honestly, this song is super relevant. Even though it came out in 2006, it's super relevant now.
Yeah, super relevant. Basically, just talking about how the news. Well, it's
fear mongering, man. It's fear mongering, and they never cover anything positive. It's all the evil, all the negativity.
As the song says at the end, the wickedest show on the earth, presented by the man. It's the news at 6 o'clock and again at 11. Mm-hmm. So the biggest horror show with the most terrorizing, horrifying things is presented to you by the man.
There's a madman raping pretty girls in his Astro van. Liquor store murder footage, close-ups, and digicams.
Yeah.
The wickedest show on earth, presented by the man. It's the news at 6 o'clock and again at 11.
Car crash explosion in slow motion. Dead cops and crooks and blood splatter. Arsonists burning people and they dogs up while they sleeping. Peeping Toms peeping and poisonous gas leaking.
Hurricanes blowing cities down every other weekend.
Oh my, it's true, man.
It's extremely true.
The news, it's all fear mongering. It's all these things to get you scared now. I mean, I don't know if there's a line about a virus in this song, but it wouldn't surprise me.
No,
if
there is.
Was.
There is.
What is it?
I mean, like, let's see. I'm trying to think. It's a car crash, explosion. No, there's a line in there in particular. It's something about hostages on their knees, a new disease, plane crashes, corruption, and butt sex at 13 on the news at 6 o'clock and again at 11. Something like that.
Yeah.
Which, I can't even dive that much more into that song because that was actually my number 4. So.
Okay.
So yeah, that actually just struck that one right off for me.
Yep. Anthrax on donuts. 8-year-olds pushing keys. Mad fucking new disease and hostages on their knees.
Mm-hmm.
If that don't describe the news to you, I don't know what will.
At least in
like a good.
At least in the United States. Yeah, at least in the United States. I don't know about anywhere else. So, what is your number 4? Since that one cleared mine out too.
My number 4 is Under the Moon.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah,
A very interesting choice. I can see that. That wasn't even in my honorables, but that crossed my mind at least once. Yes.
Again, one of those more realistic horror concepts. The subject matter is pretty dark. Basically, this guy is in love with this girl.
Well, they were in love with each other. It wasn't one-sided. They were in love with each other.
Yes, good point. And his girlfriend got raped by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he basically goes and kills the guy, and he goes to prison for it forever, pretty much. And I don't mean to just like hijack it, but
no,
he
goes to jail for it, and he's like
trying to write letters,
trying to get in contact with her. She's not visiting him. And here's some lines that I think summarize the end of. It's almost the end of the song where he's
doesn't he pretty much like come to the grips that she's like just with somebody else now? And it makes him go mad.
It says, "My head is always spinning. I'm pounding at the wall. I feel like I'm forgotten. No sign of you at all. You're probably getting married. You're probably getting fucked. I'll break out of this cage and try to cut that motherfucker up. I curl up in the corner. My body will corrode. My teeth are turning into dust. Skin is growing mold.
That shit's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm staring at the window of my eternal doom. I know that you're out there somewhere under the moon."
Yeah, you gave me chills reading that back to me.
Yeah, man. And they like go over this thing where it says, "I'll forever love you. Even if you're doomed, we'll always be together because we're both under the moon." But at the end of the song, after all that, it turns out he's just saying, "Fuck you and the moon." So he's like basically giving up.
Yeah, he just come to grips with it. He's like, what the fuck ever.
Like after doing
when he's
that
pretty
for
much
somebody being in prison for it, and
he's pretty much dying at this point from his description. So
the one person you did that for is no longer there for you because of what you did or whatever. I mean, it's never really even explained, which would be even more maddening, But you could look at it from the side of, man, if you were with somebody and they were in prison their entire life, what are you going to do as an outsider? You know what I mean? Like, you can't put your life on hold for this person. I mean, you could, but that's not something everybody was willing to do. Yeah.
So I guess we're in our top 3 now. Yippee-ki-yay. My number 3 is Clown Show. It's another one that's off of Hell Cellar.
I don't even know Clown Show. I don't even remember that one.
You know Clown Show. Clown Show, long story short, what the concept is, it's basically a suicide hotline, but it's a kid, and he basically just gets victimized in school by teachers and his peers all the time. So eventually, for show and tell, what he's going to do is he's going to kill himself in front of everybody.
Oh, my God. Yeah, man. You can tell we're starting to get up into the top tier because even conceptually, mine and yours, 4 and 3, those are fucking dark, dude.
Yeah.
and hard to even like talk.
But that's a very real one too, though.
Yeah.
It's a very real one.
Yeah. I mean, ICP has, that's one theme they've covered a lot is being a scrubby outcast kid and what that feels like.
And I understand that. I mean, like, I think that's a recurring thing with a lot of people understand with their music that actually enjoy their music is they most likely have come from that type of background themselves to some degree.
And that concept, I don't know, I guess it helps to have somebody describe something like how you feel. You know, I don't know, man. That concept, and also it serves as a reminder, a shock to like. Some people will be like, "Why you want to listen to that?" Well, I understand that, but also, like, the reason it's supposed to make you react in that way because, like, damn, dude, maybe I shouldn't bully my classmates because that song was really disturbing. I definitely don't want to see that come true in real life.
Let's see. I was trying to think of the closing lines of that song, and then I would jump past it. It's he's off to school pretty much, and between two books and a folder is a 357 Magnum fully loaded with a holster. Some teachers tell me to stop, but I walk right on past. Something to the first class. Just in time, I jump on the stage, jump up on the teacher's desk laughing with rage. Come one and come all, I'll show you a trick. It's amazing. I'll reach in this bag here right quick. It's a 357 fully loaded and all. Now watch as I blow the back of my head on the wall.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, give a really good director that concept, and that is like the climax of a horror movie right there. Like
with no happy ending. It's just a like, you know what I mean? Like one of those types of horror movies. That's a shit show from start to finish. No positivity.
Oh my God, that's so dark. I told you, it's horror, dude. They're horror, really. Like
when they want to be, they are absolutely nightmarish.
Yeah. Okay.
And the chorus, by the way, for that is like, it ain't so funny when the show's over. So.
Okay. Well, so moving on to the top three. That was your three, wasn't it?
That was my number three. Yep.
Okay. My three is The Killing Fields.
That's nice. It's actually all right because that's my number two.
Well, for me, with Killing Fields, the reason it's so high on the list is kind of similar to Walk Into the Darkness, as in just the vibe of it, like the instrumental and everything is so eerie, so hellish.
Yeah, like it's very unsettling all the way through. Killing Fields is the beat is, I don't know what Mikey Clark was doing in '95, but
yeah,
he needs to do more of it in modern day times.
I mean, I've listened to that song like driving by myself at night sometimes, and I'll just have the feeling that any minute there could be like 3 headless corpses walk across the road. Like it creates an atmosphere of true evil and
dread. There's a lot of dread in that song. It's basically just like living in hell is what it is. Yeah. See, as I feed off a dead pig, I'm thinking back to when I had a heartbeat, how I would act. I would laugh at the poor and I'd steal from the sick. But in the killing field, you get your fucking neck ripped.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess the killing field is just some part of hell that he's walking through, right?
I mean, like the very first set of lyrics, I believe, is like he's rolling out of his bed made of nails.
Yeah.
And then he walks outside, and people are trying to steal, like everybody's trying to find eyeballs out of living people, so they can dig them out of their skull and put them in their own heads.
I don't know why, but I love this string of lines. It's walking out the house this morning. The sky is red. The streets are crowded with the bodies of the living dead. They're trying to die. They're leafing off of rooftops, but they only scream in pain as their body flops.
It's so fucking dark.
They created an atmosphere, man.
And there's a preacher going in after every set of bars on that one too. You cross the finish line going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
It did like, what is it, like the last 60 or 90 seconds of it? The song was just chanting, "You can go to hell," over and over and over and over.
Like a preacher voice, like the preacher that they've been using throughout seems like a lot of their songs where there's been a voice. It's that voice. I wonder who that is, actually.
I'm not sure. I know Shaggy would do a lot of voices. It might be Jump Steady or somebody.
So that was your number 2, Killing Fields?
Yep.
Well, my number 2 is Amy's in the Attic.
Amy's in the Attic. That's an interesting one.
It was almost my number 1. But I guess, I don't know. The instrumental, Mikey Clark, once again, I think that's Mikey Clark on there.
Yes.
Man, there's this thing in the song. It's like the chorus, but it's like, what does it say? I think you should come up here.
I never really was all that clear on the chorus of Amy's in the Attic. That for me was one of those songs I tend to overlook.
Oh wow, man.
If I'm being honest with you, yeah, that's one of the very few songs. Actually, that was just an album I didn't care all that much for.
Wow.
There is a song on there though that I would say. Oh no, I take that back. I'm mistaken. That was on Terror Wheel. What you're talking about. I was over here thinking of Tunnel of Love for some reason.
Basically, Amy's in the Attic it starts out with him talking about how him and this girl were playing on a playground when they were younger, and I guess he accidentally did something that killed her. And let's see, I'm trying to get the lyrics pulled.
It almost kind of reminds me of Prom Queen by them.
Yeah. And pretty much like
it's going on with that King Von interview down there.
King Von.
I don't know what, when you were sharing your screen, I saw a King Von YouTube link.
Oh my God. I can't. Oh yes. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to play a little bit of the audio of that song just to get the vibe of it, and also the ending. But I want to talk a little bit about the story. Basically, he put her in the attic when she died. He says, even though she died, Amy has to hide. Nobody must ever know that I made Amy sick. Lock her up forever in the attic. And he's hearing all these sounds in the attic. And later on in the song, he says, what if Amy wasn't dead, living in the box, banging on the walls, rattling the locks, feeding on the roaches, rodents, and filth, and when there's nothing left, she feeds on herself.
God damn.
Yeah. Why do I think of Amy in this way? She was once a lovely girl running out to play. Maybe it's all a dream, insane fanatic. Maybe there's no Amy in the attic. Whew. That one gave me chills for some reason.
Actually, you know what? I'm kind of surprised that I have blanked on that. I remember those lyrics as you were reading them off, and I forget how dark they are.
Man, okay. Here's another part. I'm sorry, and then I'm done, and I'll play a little bit. Amy isn't dead. I never knew an Amy. I was just a boy. How can you blame me? Maybe that's okay, but she's tapping at the walls. I see a darling little girl is floating down the hall, slowly coming towards me. Her arms are spreading wide, opens up her mouth to show the maggots inside.
Oh my God.
Crying, whining, rotting is the feeling. Tiny drips of blood crowning from the ceiling, landing on my head. I'm psycho sick. I finally had it. Amy, now I'm coming to the attic.
Ugh.
And
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, man. Like I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that song sometime. I have that album. I don't know why I've always omitted that song from my listening.
I'm just gonna play this for 1 second for the viewers to hear.
Mm-hmm. Don't kill us, YouTube.
Yeah, please.
You son of a bitch.
It's the eeriest instrumental ever.
Yeah, it drops. Yeah.
I think you should come up here.
Oh yeah. That's some madness.
You should come up here. Mr. Pizer, I think you should come up here.
I remember being a kid and you playing that and it weirding me out so much. Okay, yeah, that's mine, man. It's Amy is in the Attic is a great one.
And that was your number 2, correct?
Yes, that was
your
my number 2.
Okay, so my number 1, and I'm just real curious, and you'll tell me if it's your number 1. So if it is, we'll just bounce right into it. The Stalker is my number 1.
No, I don't have a Stalker.
But that is my number 1 on my list.
And that's another one, man. I'm gonna have to play a little bit, but I'll let you describe it for a second while I get that set up.
It's pretty self-explanatory. This is one of the oldest songs in their catalog. It's almost 7 minutes, I believe, 7 or 8 minutes of just this man who is stalking this woman and will not let up. He's so fucking relentless about it. Like she shoots him, fucking just all this different stuff. He keeps coming back. And the song ends with like 2 or 3 minutes of actual voicemail recordings left on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Violet J's ex. It was voicemails a stalker of hers had been leaving in the past or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not 100% certain. I feel like I remember that was the case. But let's see. I'm kind of looking at some of the lyrics. Let's see. I mean, like the song is kind of funny in a way, but it's not like the beat. It's not as serious as a lot of some of the others.
Yeah.
But it's unsettling. Is probably a good word.
Yeah.
See, well, the stalker stalks his target. Just happened to see her at the supermarket. Oh, hi, hey, that peanut butter sucks. You wouldn't like Jiffy. It ain't got no nuts. Why don't you try these? She ran away scared, and I'm staring at her butt cheeks because I know she loves me. She wants to tease and please and rub and dub me. And it goes to him calling and says, hello, hi, it's me. Hello, you love me. Hello, I love you. Hello. Yeah.
And as the song, is that the one where it's like, I'm the neck cutter and I'm 2 blocks away?
No, that's the Loons.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
the Loons from Ringmaster.
The Stalker, man. Yeah, it's like got some of that classic ICP like gritty humor flair, but yeah, it's like every other thing about it that makes it creepy. I'm gonna play that audio here.
And if you think this is a great song, it's not in terms of like if you're looking for rap, I mean, storytelling or anything like that. This is, I don't know really how to explain this song all that well.
You might have to be a little deeper into ICP before you could completely consume this song easily.
Yeah, or at least appreciate it.
But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you're safe, right? Oh, yeah, it's the voicemails.
Don't worry, I'm not going to bother you.
Yeah, so he just loops him saying stalker over and over.
I know it.
This song is 8.5 minutes.
That's what I was saying. Like, it's a lengthy song in their catalog, man. It's droning.
And also, Amy's in the Attic, man. Amy's in the Attic was 9.5 minutes. So that's interesting that both of our number 2 picks.
Oh, that was my number 1.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, both of our tops had.
They're all lengthier tracks, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that says something about ICP's diversity too, and the way that they can set a tone for a concept. More than lyrically, they can spend 2 minutes just letting the instrumental build and creep you out. Or at the end of the song, have 3 or 4 extra minutes of, like that song we were talking about earlier where the preacher is just talking, or, that creepy doctor, whatever you should I think you should come up here, and Amy's in the attic. Yeah, they set the tone, man. Okay, so my number 1, you could maybe argue that this isn't the most horror ICP song, but for me, it gets the most of a reaction and has for a long time, and that's the reason it's number 1, and that's Halls of Illusions.
Halls of Illusions.
No matter how...
Damn, man, that didn't even make my honorables. I don't know how I missed that one.
It's like... It's the perfect mix of the ICP lore, of like true horror. It has a moral aspect to it where they're like being the punishers of people who are wrongdoing and
showing them the life that they could have had they not been a shitbag, pretty much.
Yeah. And tying that into their album as well. It's what fucking, god damn it.
That music video was initially banned, by the way.
The music video was crazy, and we talk all the time about how scary they looked during that time.
While you've got a video, it's just straight up, just like spouse abuse and blood and guts, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
When they were kids, you'd beat them and leave them home, whip them with the cord on the telephone. Hey, that reminds me, man, you got a call. Watch your step to hell. It's a long fall.
Man, and I wouldn't do it justice if I described the lyrics. But basically he describes, how this guy, they take you and they strap you in a chair and they pull your eyelids up over your head, I guess like Clockwork Orange.
I was going to say Clockwork Orange style, baby.
And they make you watch what life would be like if you weren't there. And that's like your kid is a doctor and your wife is happy, and then that all comes...
But you see she's with another man, but you wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? Because it's not you. You can't understand them having a good life because you're such a fucking awful human being.
Oh my God. And then it's like back to reality. It's what you're about. Your wife can't smile because you knocked her teeth out. Can't see straight from getting hit because you're a fat fucking drunk piece of shit. Oh my God, dude. They're so angry. Like, they really feel that. There's really somebody that they are imagining, or at least a type of person, somebody in their life that has made them feel that way towards them. And that's why it's my number 1, man.
I was trying to think of one other line off that song. It's like your son's a fucking doctor, getting paid, but they snap back out of it. It's like talking about a son and daughter. Just snaps back to reality. Your son's on crack and your daughter's got nut stains on her back, and they both fucking smell like shit, and they live in a gutter and sell crack to each other.
Yeah,
because when they were kids, you'd beat them and leave them home,
and even whip them with the cords on the telephone. God, man.
Damn, that's actually, I'd say those are some pretty fair lists, if I do say so.
I think so too. Yeah.
Definitely was not calling your number 1 to be that. Was not expecting that. You could have
Yeah.
probably seen the stalker coming from me a mile away, but
Yeah.
if not that, it was between that and Killing Fields for me. I debated between. But some of my honorable mentions, just to run through them real quick because I'm going to have to jet here shortly. Like I had The Dead One as a honorable mention. Mr. Johnson's Head was an honorable mention. The Witch, Angels Falling, and 12.
Angels Falling. That's a good honorable mention.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, 12 almost was in my top 10. It almost like was my number 10.
You know what? I wrote down 13 or 14 songs, and then I trimmed like the last 4 off of them. The number 11 was 12.
That's confusing, but I know what you're saying.
The song 12.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the concept, and that's another long one too, right?
Yeah, that song is like 7 or 8 minutes. It's literally just a guy that's coming back to life for one day to kill the 12 jurors that deemed him guilty for something he didn't do.
I mean, that's a killer concept for a song, dude. That is killer.
Mm-hmm. It's a very creative track.
Well, they even do other people's stories well. Old Evil Eye would be one that would make my honorable mentions list.
I thought about that one quite a bit. Sure did.
If you enjoy the Telltale Heart, then that song would be a good introductory track for you.
Mm-hmm. That song is literally a tribute to Old Evil, or not. It's practically a tribute to Edgar Allan Poe's short story.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to look at some of the worst real quick?
I mean, I guess I almost feel bad because I've got so excited and enthusiastic about the love for all these songs we've shared, and now we're just going to go and shoot it down. But we said we'd do it. We got to show the horrifyingly good and the horrifyingly bad. So,
well, it is Halloween. You have to end it in the most spooky way possible.
That's true.
And what's spookier than a bad Insane Clown Posse song?
Yeah. Oh God.
These are all tracks I recommend you, even if you don't like them, even if you're trying to look for something to make fun of. These are tracks not even worth your time. You will be saying, "I want these minutes back."
Yeah, dude. No, this ain't Miracles. Miracles you can enjoy for the meme. These songs, I don't know how you ranked them, but for the few that I wrote down, they're not even enjoyable.
I won't even lie. I didn't even rank them. They weren't worth ranking to me. And Miracles, I can even at least defend. I can defend Miracles to a point. It's an atrocious song, and it's one of the 5 I have wrote down. But I can at least defend it in the sense of I can understand the naivety of the song coming from a child's perspective. I get that. I can understand that. It doesn't excuse that the song is trash in any capacity.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is. It is what it is.
And it's like one of those songs that, like, man, I can just put it on for the meme and have a good time. Like, I can just enjoy it for what in all of its ridiculousness. Like, I mean, like we've said before, man, ICP has brought us together through the good and through the bad, through enjoying their tracks and also through being, like, discussing together, like, what is this? Like, what? Why?
What is this shit?
Some of these terrible tracks have brought us just as much joy as the great tracks.
Oh, they brought me no joy.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good point. Miracles, now that's one that could bring you joy, but these other ones on the list, yeah, no, go ahead.
I See the Devil does not bring me joy.
Oh, man. No,
I
you're
see
right.
the devil every time I fuck a bitch. There's nothing fun about that. That's not fun.
I hate that line so much, dude.
Fucking the song Hell off the same album. I don't want to die and burn in hell. I want to live honorably and do well.
Oh, God, dude. I listened to that and I contemplated writing it down, but I felt so bad making fun of Shaggy being so optimistic that I couldn't even write it on my list.
No, I don't care. I hate that fucking song. No, fuck that. I don't care about their goddamn optimism. That song is garbage. That is garbage.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a shit if you're going to go to heaven or hell. Keep it out of your music.
Yeah, and you're not doing any good at convincing me I need to come to Jesus with tracks like that.
Right. Between How and I See the Devil, maybe I should go see the devil. How about that? Maybe I should go fucking worship the devil.
Hell's Pit sounds a lot more artistically fulfilled than Found or
I see the devil every time I lie to my mom. Something goes off like a bomb.
It's done for me from the start with the I see the devil every time I fuck a bitch. Like, come on, man. That's your opening. That's the tone you're setting for the song. Not even like
Gave her
I
a
see
fake
the devil.
phone number.
Like, I see the devil when I hit the crack pipe would at least resonate with more people. Not like that's not like my darkest moments. That's not when I really see the devil is when I'm having intercourse. That's not typically the time.
I see the devil every time I shoot somebody, get my clothes all bloody. Something like that.
But see, you could almost put that in another song and like we would say it was good, but there's just something about it it's
the tone, the beat, context, the hopeful singing as the hook. Running out of time. Because they're fucking, I don't know what the hell they were trying to be. Those albums, I don't care what anybody says, they do have their followings. The Lost and Found albums have their following. I don't know where they followed them to, but they have it.
Another one I wrote was You Should Know.
That is actually also one of my other ones.
I can't even. I would love to let the people hear, but it's not even worth.
No. You can go to Fruity Loops and hear it if you want to.
Dude, yeah, I swear to God, like I had a trial version of Fruity Loops, which is like where you make music, basically, like an instrumental creator, whatever, beat maker, whatever you want to use it as. And the thing that they had by default to show off all the different things you could use sounded just like the lady in that song. And it says, you should know.
Like when they're trying to do actual love songs, for the most part, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. You can do the paranormal love. That makes sense. But if you're like, don't show me real emotion.
or just be like, bitches begging me to flex my pecs, like in
and knowing you're fat when you say it.
Yeah, man. But I don't. There's something about the production on the Lost and Found albums that. Well, sometimes it's good though, but sometimes it's really, really bad. I don't understand that.
To me, it's all just very noisy.
Maybe it's whatever his name is, his influence. Didn't we say he's like a curse upon the songs?
Young Wicked. Mm-hmm.
Any track he's on, you know it's probably a doozy. And not to trash Young Wicked, but that's a sign of a bad song on those ICP albums for sure.
There's a recurring theme. The only other one I would mention, actually, you know what? No, it's not even worth mentioning it either. Like what? It's not even that bad compared to the rest of them. It's Ghetto Freak Show. Off Carnival of Carnage. It's nowhere in comparison to those. I looked at it and I'm like, why'd I write that down? I think I just wrote that down so I'd have 5.
Yeah. Well,
like there's others. Actually, no, I take that back. Love Song by ICP off Ringmaster. I hate Love Song. That was originally on my worst list, and I scratched it off.
You know what, man? I don't know. I know you would disagree with me on this because I know you've listened to this a lot before, but one of my personal songs is Bugs on My Nuts. I don't know if I don't like the chorus that much.
I like it. I like that song. I won't lie.
Let's suck the nuts. Oh please, fuck dirty sluts. The nuts.
It's so
nuts.
silly and stupid.
It is. Yeah, I think it's at least self-aware in its ridiculousness.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that song's just trying to be goofy. I can feel the bugs biting because they're on my nuts. Yo, fuck that.
The opposite of one that's not self-aware. This is like an honorable mention. in my room. I love the song, but there's one line that goes on this list, and that's "She slips me the tongue and it tastes like bacon." I've never had an explanation of why this ghost's tongue tastes like bacon. Please, Violent J, write to me what you were thinking when you wrote that line, because it takes me out of it every time. I'm trying to visualize this girl, and I keep taking in as one of the few characteristics I have that you've described of her is that her tongue tastes like bacon, and I don't know why.
Why does it taste like bacon, Violent J? And why does it taste like bacon out there to you, the listeners? I wonder. Why does a dead person's tongue taste like bacon? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know, man. Let us, if you figure out why a ghost's tongue would taste like bacon, leave it in the comments below. Leave a like. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on other stuff such as Spotify, iTunes, podcast, Apple Music, pretty much any
wherever podcasts are sold.
Yeah, wherever podcasts are sold, you can find us. Just look it up, Braincake. Well, this has been fun though. This has been
fun. Yeah, this has been enjoyable. I just wish I didn't have to go to work like a human.
Yeah. Well, you gotta. Sadly, this podcast ain't paying yet, so
got to make that cheddar somehow.
We're making money. We're making cheddar for ICP because all the monetizing money is going to them. So, hey man, if you want
bill for them, y'all.
If you want to support ICP, watch these videos,
and you'll support us at the same time.
That's true.
So, with that said, have a happy Halloween, my friends.
Yes, happy Halloween to everyone. Have a great night.
Deuces.
Peace.